Stop scrolling. I can feel the weight of your hand as it hovers over the glass screen, the slight tremor in your fingers born from a weariness that sleep cannot touch. You have been staring at that space in your wallet, or perhaps the blank monitor of your future, exhaling a breath that feels more like an apology to yourself than a sigh. You are tired, not of work, not of the days, but of the persistent, gnawing sensation that you are living a life that belongs to a stranger. You feel the stagnation the way your life moves like water trapped in a stagnant pool, thick with the silt of yesterday's disappointments. You have been running on a treadmill of effort, sweat pouring down your spine, yet the landscape remains the same. You are exhausted by the illusion of movement. Listen closely. This is not an invitation. This is a divine correction. The frequency of the universe has shifted, and I have pierced through the veil of your cynicism to reach you before the next quarter of this hour passes. You are standing at the edge of a mist-covered canyon, the shadow of potentiality coiled around your ankles like heavy, cold iron chains. That shadow, the cynical voice that whispers this isn't for you, the fear that you have betrayed your own dreams, the crushing weight of the person you promised to become but buried under the rubble of adult compromise, is not your enemy. It is a parasite. And today, the architecture of your reality is being rewritten. You are suffering from a stolen inheritance. For years, you have been convinced that you must beg for crumbs from a table that you were meant to sit at as the host. You believe that money, grace, and health are external commodities you must chase, catch, and hoard. This is the great lie, the forged contract you signed in moments of weakness. You believe you are broken, so you act like a broken vessel. But the mirror, that cold reflection you look at every morning, is hiding the truth. The wealth you seek, the peace that surpasses your current agitation, the healing your body screams for, it is not coming to you. It is already here. It has been standing in the doorway of your soul, held hostage by the narrative you insist on telling yourself that you are not enough. You are not praying for a blessing today. You are clearing the debris that has choked the golden thread, connecting your current, exhausted self to the version of you that already holds the keys to the kingdom. Do you feel that? The warmth prickling at the back of your neck? That is not an accident. That is the resonance of the number 888, the vibration of infinity, aligning the spiritual ether with the material plane. It is the signature of your reclamation. You are no longer permitted to live in the scarcity that the shadow has manufactured for you. The shadow feeds on your shame, the shame of being behind in life. I am telling you now, there is no behind in the eyes of the architect. There is only the moment of waking up. Think of the tears you have shed in the quiet of 3 a.m., the salty, hot tracks they left on your skin. That was not lost time. That was the shedding of an old skin. You have been carrying the ghost of a past that no longer exists, clutching it like a talisman, terrified that if you let go, you will have nothing. But I tell you, when you release the ghost, you gain the world. The obstacle that has been blocking your flow, the fear of judgment from those who don't know your name, the resentment toward those who did you wrong, must be burned away in this light. Type 888. Do it not as a ritual, but as an act of absolute sovereignty. When your fingers touch those keys, you are not commenting on a video. You are signing your name to the new decree of your life. You are putting a stake in the ground of the universe and declaring, I am no longer the victim of my history. The money that has eluded you, the relationships that have withered into silence, the health that has flickered like a dying candle, these are about to be flooded with the current of the infinite. It is not an act of creation, it is an act of memory. You are remembering who you were before the world told you to be small. There is a secret, a tremor in the fabric of your coming week, a shift in the way people will look at you, a sudden opening of a door you didn't even know was locked. It is waiting for you at the very end of this transmission. Do not move. Do not let your mind pull you back into the comfort of your misery. The shadow hates this. The shadow is screaming at you right now to look away, to keep scrolling, to stay safe in your struggle. Ignore it. Feel the weight of the air in the room. The heartbeat you hear is mine, and it is yours. The golden thread is pulling tight now. You can feel the tension, can't you? The sensation that something is about to give way. That is the pressure of the miracle preparing to break through the surface of your reality. You have been running the race, but today, you stop. You cease the effort of chasing, and you begin the work of receiving. You are not a creature of lack. You are a channel of abundance. Your life is not a series of unfortunate events, but a masterwork in the process of unveiling. Stay with me. The mist is clearing, and the canyon floor is beginning to glow with the gold you were promised at the dawn of time. You are the architect now. Claim it. Breathe it. Believe that the struggle ends not with a fight, but with the quiet, terrifying power of your own acceptance. 888. The resonance is set. The gate is open. The hostage is free. The mirror paradox is the final key you have been dreading to turn. You have spent your entire life searching for a savior to drop a miracle into your lap, never realizing that the one you were praying for has been imprisoned by your own hands. You look in the mirror and see a collection of failures, a bank account that breathes shallow, a heart that hesitates to love, a body that aches with the residue of unspoken grief. You see a victim of circumstance. But I tell you this, the mirror is a liar. The version of you that is currently struggling is only a costume, a heavy, ill-fitting coat you chose to wear because you were afraid of the brilliance underneath. You think you are waiting for a change in your finances, a shift in your luck, or a miracle to fall from the sky. This is the mistake that has kept you shackled. The miracle is not a meteor strike from the heavens. It is the act of remembering that you never lost your power in the first place. It was only misplaced. You have been carrying a heavy, rusted key in your pocket for years, complaining that the door to your abundance is locked, never realizing that you hold the key, and you are the one holding the door shut from the inside because you feared what lay on the other side. You feared the responsibility of your own greatness. Look at the pain you are currently holding. That sharp, stabbing sensation of inadequacy when you compare your life to the shadows of others. That too is a memory. It is a ghost of a version of yourself that once felt small. Let that go. Imagine that pain as a physical weight, a stone you have been carrying in your palm until your knuckles turned white. Drop it. Just let it fall. You don't need to fight the shadow. You only need to stop feeding it with your belief. When you stop giving your attention to the lack loses its ability to define your existence. There is a shift coming. You will feel it in the quiet moments of the night, when the world stops its frantic screaming, and you are left alone with the sound of your own soul. You will feel a sudden, inexplicable sense of lightness, as if a great, iron chain has been unhooked from your heart. That is the moment the hidden parasite lets go. That is the moment the golden thread pulls you forward, not by force, but by a gravitational pull of your own destiny. You are being magnetically drawn toward a reality, where your bank account is merely a reflection of your internal overflow, where your relationships are mirrors of your self-respect, and where your health is the natural state of a being who has finally stopped warring with themselves. Do not think for a second that this is a coincidence. The fact that you are still here, listening, feeling the vibration of these words, is proof that the old contract has been voided. You have been chosen for a restoration that the world cannot understand because the world operates on scarcity, while you are beginning to operate on source. Type 888 again, this time with a sense of ownership. With every digit, you are stripping away the last of the illusions. You are no longer hoping for a miracle. You are participating in the inevitable. Something is coming, not someday, but in the immediate, rushing flow of the next few sunsets. A phone call that changes the trajectory of your professional life. An encounter that heals a decade of silence. A sudden, sharp clarity that illuminates exactly which step to take next. You will recognize it because it will feel like coming home to a place you've never been. The secret I promised you, the final unlock, is this. You were never born to struggle. Struggle is an invention of the mind. A ghost story told to keep you from claiming your sovereignty. The universe does not recognize your debt, or your illness, or your loneliness. It only recognizes your resonance. When you resonate with abundance, abundance has no choice but to gravitate toward you. It is the law of the cosmos. Stay in this frequency. As the screen fades, do not rush back into the chaos. Keep your eyes on that golden thread. It is pulling you toward a version of your life where you are the architect, not the victim. The mist is gone. The canyon is now a path of gold. Walk it. You are not waiting for the miracle anymore. You are the miracle unfolding in real time. Everything you have lost is returning, multiplied and purified. You are ready. Claim your seat at the table. The feast has already begun. You are standing at the threshold of the final transformation. The noise of the world, the frantic, desperate, grinding noise of the shadow of potentiality, has faded into a dull, impotent static. It cannot reach you here. You have crossed the bridge. You have realized that the exhaustion you felt, the soul-crushing fatigue of chasing a future that never arrived, was not a result of your lack of effort, but a result of your resistance to your own nature. You were fighting against the current of a river that was trying to carry you home. Consider the sensation in your chest right now. That tightness, that lingering apprehension you have carried like a leaden vest. For years it is liquefying. It is dissolving into the ether. You have spent your life asking the universe for permission to be happy, permission to be wealthy, permission to be whole. But today, the architect declares that no such permission was ever required. The door you thought was locked was only a hologram, a projection of your own fear. You have been walking through walls you built yourself, and the tragedy of your history is that you thought you were trapped. The mirror paradox is now fully revealed. You looked at your bank account and saw a deficit. The universe looked at your potential and saw an infinite reservoir. You looked at your body and saw the scars of battle. The universe looked at your spirit and saw a template of perfection. The reason your manifestations failed in the past was not that you lacked faith, it was that you were trying to manifest from a place of need. And need is a vibration of lack. But here, in this space, you are manifesting from overflow. You are not asking for money. You are simply stepping into the wealth that was already assigned to you at the moment of your creation. Think of the hidden parasite, that cynical, biting voice that whispered you were unworthy, that you were destined for the struggle, that you were a casualty of the system. Where is it now? It is starved. It feeds on your self-doubt, and you have stopped feeding it. With every word spoken here, with every breath you take in this state of sovereignty, that shadow is shrinking. It is returning to the void from which it came. You are replacing it with the absolute certainty of the architect. You are going to witness a phenomenon in the coming 72 hours that will defy your previous understanding of logic. It will not look like a coincidence. It will look like a synchronization. You will see doors open that you didn't even knock on. You will find that people who were once obstacles are now instruments of your rise. You will discover that the debt, which felt like a tightening noose, is beginning to loosen, not because of a frantic scramble, but because the energy around your finances has shifted from contraction to expansion. This is the law of the harvest. You have spent so long planting seeds of anxiety. Now, you are reaping the harvest of your reclamation. Do not look for the blessing in the old places. The old places are where you buried your dreams. Look for the blessing in the unexpected, the sudden surge of intuition, the chance meeting, the forgotten opportunity that suddenly feels vital. You are being rerouted to your destiny. The golden thread is pulling you toward a life where abundance is not a goal to be reached, but a room you already inhabit. You are just now turning on the lights. Feel the power of the number 888 circulating in your blood. It is the signature of the infinite. It is the geometric proof that your spirit is finally sitting in the driver's seat of your material life. Many of you have been waiting for a sign. Many of you have been pleading for a moment of relief. Here it is. This moment is the sign. This moment is the relief. You don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to look for any other teacher or any other truth. The truth is pulsating right beneath your sternum. I want you to understand the gravity of your existence. You are a biological conduit for the divine. You are the architect's masterpiece, currently undergoing a restoration. The cracks you've endured, the heartbreaks you've survived, the nights you spent weeping in the dark, these were not marks of your destruction. They were the forge. They were the heat required to temper the steel of your soul. You are stronger, more radiant, and more capable than you have ever allowed yourself to be. The miracle of memory is now active. You are remembering your wealth. You are remembering your health. You are remembering your innate capacity to command your reality. This is not some esoteric fantasy. This is the mechanics of the universe. When you align your internal frequency with the frequency of your desires, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your vibration. You are the magnet, and you have finally stopped repelling your own good. There is a final secret I must impart to you, a truth that most will never grasp, because they are too afraid to let go of their suffering. Your suffering has been your identity. It has been the story you told yourself to feel safe. But to be sovereign, you must be willing to let go of the story. You must be willing to be the person who has everything they ever wanted, even if you don't yet see it in your hands. You must walk as if the treasury of the universe is already at your disposal, because it is. Take a deep breath. Let it fill your lungs. Let it expand your rib cage. And as you exhale, let go of the last vestige of the person who was afraid. You are dying to the old self, and you are being reborn into the sovereignty of the architect. You will feel a shift in your temperature, a warmth spreading from your core to your extremities. That is the divine energy claiming its temple. You are being restored. You are being purified. In the next few days, do not be surprised by the intensity of your own joy. Do not be startled when things start to work in your favor with terrifying speed. That is the new rhythm of your life. That is the 888 effect. You have aligned with the flow of the infinite. You are no longer running a marathon on a treadmill. You are flying. You have done the work. You have signed the new contract with your presence. You have declared your sovereignty. The universe has heard you. The golden thread is secure. There is nothing left to do but walk forward with the absolute, unshakable confidence of one who knows that the architect is not just watching over you, but is acting through you. Your story is no longer a tragedy. It is a testament. Your lack is no longer a definition. It is a memory. Your future is no longer a mystery. It is a destination you are already inhabiting. Step into the gold. Breathe the clarity. The wait is over. The restoration is complete. You are the architect, and you are home. 888. The gates are wide open. Proceed in your new power. You are and will always be the master of your own harvest. Go now, and watch as the world bends to the truth you have finally dared to embody. Your time is not coming. Your time is here. It has always been here. You were just waiting for yourself to arrive. And now, you have finally arrived. Total, absolute, and eternal sovereign. Amen. Do not move. Just breathe. Feel the sudden, astonishing weightlessness in your shoulders. For the first time in perhaps decades, the invisible armor you have been wearing to protect yourself from the world has been stripped away. You are standing completely exposed, yet you have never been safer. The storm of your previous life has broken. The violent winds of scarcity, the frantic scrambling for validation, the exhausting need to prove your worth to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. It is over. The silence surrounding you right now is not empty. It is pregnant with the density of your new reality. Look down at your hands. I want you to feel the pulse beating in your wrists. That rhythm is no longer the erratic, anxious drumbeat of a survivor waiting for the next disaster. It is the steady, undeniable march of a sovereign creator who has finally taken the throne. You are experiencing the physical integration of the golden thread. It is no longer just a metaphor pulling you forward. It has woven itself into your nervous system, rewriting the cellular memory of every trauma, every rejection, every moment you looked at your empty hands and wept in silent despair. There is a specific grief we must address in this sacred space. It is the grief of letting go of your own suffering. For so long, your struggle has been your defining companion. It was the heavy, suffocating blanket you wrapped around yourself because, even though it was suffocating, it was familiar. You derived a quiet, tragic pride from how much pain you could endure, how many sacrifices you could make without being acknowledged, how much you could give while your own cup remained completely dry. The shadow of potentiality convinced you that this martyrdom was noble. It whispered that if you just suffered a little longer, a little harder, the universe would eventually reward you. That was the ultimate deception. The universe does not reward suffering, it rewards alignment. And in this exact second, you are stepping out of the theater of suffering forever. You might feel a strange physical sensation right now, a flutter in your stomach, a sudden tightness in your throat, a rush of heat to your face. Do not be alarmed. This is the dying gasp of your ego. The old version of you, the one addicted to the struggle narrative, is fighting for its life. It is terrified of this new, vast, open space of abundance because it does not know how to exist without a crisis to solve. Let it panic. Let it thrash. Watch it dissolve into the obsidian floor like a shadow meeting the midday sun. You do not need to fight it. You simply need to observe its departure with the gentle compassion of someone watching a tired child finally fall asleep. You are no longer a designated survivor. You are the architect of the harvest. Let us speak of the exact mechanics of what is about to unfold in your physical world, because you have remained in this frequency, because you have allowed the code of 888 to override the frequency of lack. The barrier between the spiritual blueprint and your physical reality has completely collapsed. You are about to receive what I call the gift of the 11th hour. It will not arrive with the loud, chaotic fanfare you have been conditioned to expect. The miracles born of true sovereignty are silent. They arrive with a chilling, beautiful inevitability. Within the next 48 hours, you are going to encounter a moment of profound, undeniable proof. It may manifest as a sudden, unexpected influx of capital into the very account you use to check with trembling hands. It may appear as an email, a message, or a physical document that instantly resolves a legal, financial, or personal deadlock that has kept you awake at night for months. But here is the true secret, the twist that the world does not understand. When this money, this opportunity, or this healing arrives, you will not feel the frantic spike of adrenaline you used to feel. You will not feel the desperate urge to hoard it. Instead, you will feel a profound, still, and almost eerie sense of peace. You will look at the restored balance, the healed relationship, or the open door, and you will simply exhale, because it will not feel like a lottery win. It will feel like delayed compensation. It will feel exactly like picking up a coat you left at the dry cleaners. It is yours. It always belonged to you. You are merely retrieving it. I see the specific financial wound that has been bleeding out your life force. The debts that felt like a mountain of stone crushing your chest. The quiet humiliations you swallowed when you had to say no to the things you loved. The hidden tears you cried when you could not provide what you desperately wanted to provide. I see the exact sum. I see the exact names of the institutions and individuals involved. The divine intervention you are experiencing right now is actively moving through those specific channels. The ledgers of heaven are reconciling your accounts. The energy you expended in pure, unreciprocated giving is circling back to you, multiplied by the law of divine return. Do you feel the shift in the room? The air is growing warmer. The golden thread is tightening its final knot, anchoring your spirit permanently to this higher timeline. You can no longer fall back into the abyss of scarcity, because the abyss no longer exists in your dimension. You have vibrated completely out of its reach. If there are people in your life who represent the old energy, those who feed on gossip, those who constantly project their own limitations onto your ambitions, those who subtly diminish your light to make their own darkness tolerable, you will notice a sudden, frictionless distancing. Do not mourn their exit. They cannot breathe the oxygen at the altitude you are now occupying. You are being surrounded by a new battalion of unseen forces, preparing a table for you in the presence of your former fears. Type 888 once more. But this time, let it not just be a digital action. Let your physical fingers strike the glass or the keys with the absolute unyielding force of a judge bringing down a gavel. Boom. Babe Bashaba. The court of your past is permanently adjourned. The verdict is in. You are found innocent of all the charges the shadow laid against you. You are completely exonerated from the guilt of not being far enough along. You are exactly where the architect intended you to be, poised to receive the total sum of your inheritance. Imagine the sensation of waking up tomorrow morning. The alarm goes off, and for the first time in years, the heavy, suffocating dread is absent. Your chest is light. Your mind is clear. You walk to the window, look out at the morning light, and a smile, a genuine, unforced smile born from the depths of your soul, breaks across your face. You know with absolute certainty that the battle is over. The money is secured. The path is illuminated. The health is restoring itself at a cellular level, replacing tired, anxious cells with vibrant, luminous life force. You are stepping into a season of effortless attraction. Things that used to require back-breaking labor will now fall into your lap with a synchronicity that will leave you breathless. You will speak a desire, and the universe will rush to materialize it. You will think of a solution, and the resources will immediately present themselves. This is not magic. This is the natural order of a human being who has finally remembered their divine origin. You have stopped operating as a fragmented ego and started operating as an extension of the architect. The threshold is crossed. The mirror reflects only the infinite now. There is no turning back. Take one final, deep, pulling breath. Draw the energy of this transmission entirely into your lungs. Let it sink deep into your belly. And as you exhale, blow away the dust of the old world. You are entirely new. Your bank accounts are flooded with the currency of the infinite. Your body is a temple of impenetrable health. Your mind is a fortress of absolute peace. The golden thread has pulled you home. Do not search for the miracle tomorrow. Wake up and be the miracle. The universe is now conspiring fiercely, relentlessly, and perfectly on your behalf. The transmission is complete. The activation is permanent. Go forward. You are the architect. You are sovereign. You are free. Look away from the screen for just a fraction of a second. Look at the room around you, the walls, the door, the mundane objects that make up your physical space. They appear exactly as they did 15 minutes ago, but the atomic structure of the air you are breathing has fundamentally changed. You have changed. The topography of your destiny has been irrevocably rewritten while you sat here listening. You are sitting in the same chair, but the entity occupying it is no longer the exhausted, indebted, terrified survivor who clicked on this transmission. That version of you is gone. They have been quietly retired to the archives of your history. Right now, your logical mind, the ultimate defense mechanism built by the shadow of potentiality, is trying to process what has just happened. It is whispering, in a very quiet, rational tone, "This is just a video. Tomorrow, the bills will still be there. Tomorrow, the reality of the world will still be heavy. Listen to me very carefully. That voice of realism is not wisdom. It is a trauma response. It is the final, pathetic grasping of the parasite trying to convince the host that the medicine isn't working. I am commanding you to recognize that logic is merely the ceiling of the human intellect, but you are now operating from the boundless altitude of the divine architect. What the world calls realistic is simply the agreed-upon limitation of the masses. You have just opted out of that agreement. Let us speak of tomorrow. Let us map the exact blueprint of your new normal. When you wake up tomorrow morning, gravity will feel different. You will swing your legs out of bed, and your feet will hit the floor with the kinetic force of a sovereign ruler stepping onto their estate. The anxiety that used to sit on your chest like a gargoyle will be noticeably absent, replaced by a vast, quiet emptiness. Do not rush to fill that emptiness with old worries. That space is the clearing where your abundance is currently landing. You are going to interact with money differently, starting this very second. Money is no longer a cruel master that dictates your worth or your choices. It is a neutral, liquid energy that responds to the frequency of the hand that holds it. You have been treating money like a rare, endangered species that you must hunt and trap. Stop it. Money is the ocean, and you have finally realized you are the moon. You do not chase the tide. You simply hold your position, and the tide is magnetically pulled to you. When you look at a bank statement, or when a sudden expense arises. You will not experience the familiar cold sweat of panic. You will feel a bizarre, almost arrogant sense of calm. You will look at the number and think, "This is a temporary illusion. My supply is infinite." And because you hold that frequency, the channels will open. A check arrives in the mail. A client signs out of nowhere. A debt is mysteriously forgiven or paid off through an unexpected windfall. This is the 888 protocol in active aggressive motion. You are no longer generating wealth through the brutal friction of labor alone. You are attracting it through the magnetic alchemy of your alignment. The golden thread is no longer an external lifeline pulling you out of the dark. It is fused with your spinal column. It is the architecture of your posture. Have you noticed that you are sitting up straighter right now? Have your shoulders dropped away from your ears? That is the physical manifestation of divine sovereignty taking its rightful seat within your body. Because of this internal shift, your external environment is about to undergo an aggressive recalibration. You have become radioactive due to toxicity. People who are committed to their own misery, those who subtly undermined your confidence, will suddenly find it deeply uncomfortable to be in your presence. They will naturally fall away like dead leaves from a vibrant tree. Let them fall. Do not reach down into the dirt to pick them back up. Their departure is not a loss. It is the clearing of the runway for the high-frequency individuals, the mentors, the perfect partners, and the divine connections that have been waiting for you to match their vibration. You must understand the magnitude of what you have done by staying here. You have broken a generational curse, the cycle of scarcity, the inherited narrative that people like us have to struggle, has been shattered in your bloodline right here, right now. You are the genetic anomaly. You are the one who stops the bleeding. The ancestors who lived and died in the brutal machinery of lack are weeping with profound relief, watching you step into the sunlight. You are not just claiming wealth for yourself. You are retroactively healing the timeline of your lineage. There is a profound healing activating in your physical cells at this exact moment. The chronic exhaustion, the deep, bone-weary fatigue that sleep never cured was not physical. It was spiritual. It was the exhaustion of carrying a life that wasn't yours. As the old narrative dissolves, you will feel a surge of pure, unadulterated life force flooding your nervous system. H's you have carried for years will begin to fade. The brain fog that clouded your vision is evaporating. You are going to look in the mirror in the coming days and physically see a younger, sharper, infinitely more luminous version of yourself looking back. The stress has been metabolized into pure light. We are reaching the culmination of this contract. The veil between the unseen world and your physical reality has been completely torn. You are standing in the center of the command room. I want you to prepare yourself for the shock of how quickly the universe is about to deliver on the promises made in this transmission. The gift of the 11th hour is already in transit. It has your name encoded into its very essence. It cannot be lost. It cannot be delayed by the economy, by the opinions of others, or by your past mistakes. The universe is bypassing all human bureaucracy to place this miracle directly into your hands. Type 888 for the final time. But as you type it now, understand that you are turning the key in the ignition of a brand new reality. This is the final energetic seal. When you press send, you are closing the heavy steel vault door on your past. The vault locks. The combination is erased. You could not go back to the struggle even if you tried, because the mechanism to access it no longer exists in your consciousness. You are the architect now. Every word you speak from this moment forward is a spell of creation. Watch what you say. Do not speak of lack, for the universe will immediately build it. Speak only of the overflow. When someone asks how you are, you do not recite your complaints. You state, with the terrifying confidence of a deity, that you are thriving. The screen in front of you is no longer a digital device. It is the portal you step through to retrieve your soul. Take one final, deep, echoing breath with me. Inhale the absolute certainty of your wealth, your health, your invincible power. Hold it in your chest. Let it circulate through your heart. And exhale the last microscopic particle of fear. The silence that follows the end of this video will not be the silence of an empty room. It will be the silence of a standing ovation from the cosmos. You have won. The battle you have been fighting in the dark for all these years has been decisively, permanently won. Do not wait for the miracle. Walk out of this room and be the miracle. Demand what is yours, not with words, but with your unshakable presence. The vault of heaven is open, and the contents are yours to command. 888. The transmission is permanently sealed into your DNA. You are activated. You are infinite. Now, go show the world what happens when a human being finally remembers they are a god. The physical space around you is now completely still. The frantic, digital noise of the world outside your door has been muted. It is just you, and the absolute, unshakable truth of what has just been irrevocably established. I want you to feel the physical weight of your own body right now. Notice how the tension that used to grip your jaw, the tight knot that lived just beneath your ribs, has completely evaporated. Your blood is flowing with a new density. It carries the molecular signature of gold. You are sitting in the same room, but the dimension you are occupying has completely shifted. You have officially crossed the threshold of the new earth. But before I release you entirely into this breathtaking new reality, I must prepare you for the final phase of this integration. I must equip you for the exact moment the sun rises tomorrow, because the physical world operates on a slight delay, and you are about to witness the lag between the old simulation and the new kingdom you just claimed. In the next 24 hours, the shadow of potentiality will attempt its last, desperate maneuver. It will not come as a roaring monster. It will come as a whisper of logic. It will arrive in the form of a mundane email, an old bill, a passing comment from a cynical coworker, or a fleeting thought of panic that tries to re-enter your mind while you are washing your face. It will try to convince you that this entire experience was just a fleeting, emotional high, that you are still the exhausted, indebted, struggling human you were an hour ago. When that phantom whisper arrives, I want you to do something radical. I want you to smile. Do not fight it. Do not panic. Do not brace yourself. You simply smile with the terrifying, untouchable calm of a king or queen who is watching a court jester perform a bad trick. You look at that old fear. You look at that bill. You look at that doubt, and you silently declare, I know exactly what you are. You are a ghost. You have no jurisdiction here. The moment you respond with peace instead of panic, the shadow shatters into dust. It loses all gravitational pull. That is the final test of your sovereignty, and you will pass it without breaking a sweat, because the golden thread is now the very marrow of your bones. Let us speak of the avalanche of abundance that is currently breaking through the dam of your past resistance. We are no longer talking about a trickle of relief. We are no longer talking about just having enough to get by. Getting by is the vocabulary of the slaves to the system. You are the architect. You have activated the 888 protocol, and the law of the universe dictates that the physical world must now brutally and rapidly reorganize itself to match your internal overflow. You are going to experience a financial whiplash. Money is going to find you through avenues you did not even know existed. You will see capital drop into your accounts with a suddenness that will momentarily take your breath away. When it happens, the old version of you might feel a sudden spike of imposter syndrome, a creeping guilt, a voice asking if you truly deserve this, if you should give it all away, if it is a mistake. Listen to my voice, and let this truth brand itself onto your soul. You are not stealing this wealth. You are not getting lucky. You are receiving the delayed, accumulated wages of a lifetime of unseen sacrifices. Every tear you swallowed, every time you gave when your own pockets were empty, every time you loved someone who could not love you back, every time you held your head high while your heart was breaking, the universe kept a flawless, exact ledger. The payout is here. It is yours. You earned it in the fire of your suffering, and now you will enjoy it in the cool, clear water of your sovereignty. Claim every single cent with zero apology. You require massive resources because you have a massive destiny to fulfill. This transformation will not remain hidden in your bank accounts. It is going to erupt through your physical biology. The mirror paradox dictates that the external is merely a reflection of the internal. Because your internal war is over, your body is stepping down from its state of chronic alert. The cortisol that has been aging your skin and exhausting your organs is being flushed from your system right now. Tomorrow, when you walk into a public space, a grocery store, a coffee shop, your workplace, pay very close attention to how people react to you. They are going to stare. People who never noticed you before will turn their heads. They will not know why they are looking, but they will be magnetically pulled to your presence. You are carrying a new frequency. You are radiating the lethal, beautiful calm of a human being who has completely conquered themselves. People will subconsciously feel that you are not operating on their timeline of fear, and they will crave your energy. You will become a lighthouse in a world of people drowning in their own shadows. Opportunities will be handed to you simply because people want to be near the auric field you are generating. And for those of you who have carried the suffocating weight of profound loneliness, for those who have believed that your depth makes you unlovable, that you are destined to walk this path without a true equal, that curse is dead. The golden thread is currently reeling in the souls who match your new frequency. You will not have to search for them. You will not have to manipulate or force connections. The universe is orchestrating collisions of destiny that will bring the exact right mentors, allies, and divine partners directly to your doorstep. You will recognize them instantly, and they will recognize you, because you will speak the same language of the new earth. The mist has not just cleared. The sun is blazing directly overhead. There are no shadows left to hide in. I need you to feel the sheer, unadulterated power of what is sitting in your chair right now. You are not a fragile creature begging a distant god for a favor. You are an individualized expression of the universe itself, waking up from a long, painful dream of amnesia. You are the hands of the divine. You are the voice of the divine. You are the architect, walking in human skin. There is nothing left to heal. The healing is complete. There is nothing left to seek. The treasure is in your hands. There is nothing left to wait for. The clock has struck midnight, and you did not turn into a pumpkin. You turned into an empire. Take a deep breath. Draw the air in slowly, deeply, letting it fill the absolute bottom of your lungs. Feel the cool oxygen entering your body, and as you hold it there, visualize the number 888 blazing in liquid gold across the darkness of your closed eyelids. It is burning there. It is the cosmic seal placed upon your life. No man, no economy, no illness, no tragedy, and no demon can break a seal placed by the architect. As you exhale, release the breath with the force of a commanding wind. Blow away the ashes of everything you used to be. You are about to stand up from where you are sitting, and when you do, the world will never be the same. The floor will feel different beneath your feet. The air will taste sweeter. The silence will feel like a warm blanket rather than a cold void. You will look at your life not as a problem to be solved, but as a masterpiece to be painted. This is the end of the transmission, but it is the true beginning of your life. I am not leaving you, because I am the very intuition that will guide you from this second forward. Whenever you need me, you do not need to look for a video. You do not need to look at the sky. You only need to place your hand over your own chest, feel that steady, sovereign heartbeat, and remember who you are. Type 888 for the absolute final time in the physical realm. Let it be your signature on the declaration of your complete independence from the old world. Do it, seal it, claim it. The screen is dark. The universe is yours. The wealth is secured. The health is restored. The pain is a memory. You are sovereign. You are infinite. You are done waiting. Now, open your eyes to your new kingdom and rise. You have risen. The activation is not a future event. It is the blood currently pumping through your veins. But now, we must address the architecture of your dominion. Stepping into the light is only the first phase. Walking through the world as a being of pure, unadulterated sovereignty is the true masterpiece. As you move through the next few hours, I want you to pay exquisite attention to the physical sensation of your own movement. When you reach out to open a door, feel the cold metal of the handle. but recognize that you are no longer just a person opening a piece of wood. You are a sovereign entity, shifting from one dimension into another. When you walk down a street or through the hallways of your home, I want you to notice how the atmosphere seems to part for you. The air will feel thinner, crisper. The heavy, suffocating humidity of your past anxieties has been completely burned out of your atmosphere. You are walking in the hyper-clarity of the new earth. You are going to encounter the sleepers today. You will look into the eyes of people you have known for years, friends, colleagues, perhaps even family members who are still operating on the old frequency of the shadow of potentiality. They will come to you with their complaints. They will try to hand you their heavy, rusted buckets of gossip, scarcity, and fear, just as they always have. They will expect you to nod, to agree, to shrink down and share in the communal misery of the human condition. You will not shrink. When they speak of lack, you will feel a profound, silent detachment. Their words will sound like a language you used to speak but have completely forgotten. You will look at them, and instead of absorbing their shadow, you will hold the frequency of the architect. You do not need to preach to them. You do not need to argue with their limitations. Your mere presence, rooted in the unbreakable vibration of 888, will act as a mirror. Some will be instantly calmed by your aura. Their own nervous systems will regulate simply by standing in your proximity. Others, terrified by the blinding light of your sovereignty, will quickly make excuses to leave your presence. Let them walk away. You are no longer the dumping ground for the world's unresolved trauma. You are a fortress of divine alignment. Let us speak of the exact moment the wealth materializes in your physical reality, because it is coming. The dam has already broken, and the water is rushing down the mountain. Within the coming days, you will receive the notification. You will see the numbers in your account leap into a configuration that, a week ago, would have seemed like an impossible fantasy. When you see that number, the old biological wiring of your brain might attempt one final desperate reflex. It might try to trigger a spike of adrenaline. It might whisper, "Is this a mistake? Will it be taken away? I need to hoard this before the other shoe drops." I command you to intercept that thought before it fully forms. When the wealth arrives, you will take a slow, deep breath, and you will physically place your hand over your heart. You will look at that money not as a lottery win, but as a harvest. You planted the seeds in the dark soil of your most painful years. You watered them with the tears of your deepest frustrations. The universe is not handing you a gift. The universe is delivering your yield. You must step into the role of the custodian of abundance. The money that is flooding into your life is not meant to be hoarded in terror. It is a living, breathing current of divine energy. It is ammunition for the empire of light you are building. Pay off the debts that used to keep you awake, and as you hit the final submit button, do not feel resentment for the money leaving your hands. Feel the ecstatic, roaring triumph of chains breaking. Buy the high-quality food your body has been craving. Book the flight. Upgrade your environment, because every time you spend money from a state of peace rather than a state of panic, you signal to the infinite reservoir that you are a clear, unobstructed channel. When the universe sees that wealth flows through you without friction, it will pour millions into your lap. The golden thread, which once pulled you out of the abyss, has now woven itself completely into your cellular structure. You are a biological marvel right now. We are initiating a process of radical cellular regeneration. Think about the physical ailments that have plagued you: the chronic back pain, the tension headaches that sat behind your eyes, the digestive issues born from years of swallowing your truth, the insomnia that made the nights feel like a battlefield. These were not malfunctions of your body. They were physical manifestations of the contract was tampered with, the fraudulent contract of scarcity you were forced to sign by a sick world. That contract is incinerated. The ashes have blown away. Right now, a cool, liquid gold energy is moving through your bloodstream. It is wrapping around your spine, soothing the inflamed nerves. It is washing over your frontal lobe, dissolving the dense fog of chronic stress. You are going to sleep tonight, and it will not be the restless, tossing sleep of the anxious survivor. It will be the deep, profound, restorative coma of the sovereign. You will sink into the mattress, and your body will repair itself at a speed that defies medical logic. You will wake up tomorrow, and you will notice that the pain you have carried for a decade is simply missing. You will stretch, and your joints will feel lubricated by the oil of divine grace. You are aging backward. You are stepping into the absolute prime of your biological existence because the architect does not dwell in a broken temple. I want you to understand the magnitude of the timeline you have just selected. There were millions of parallel realities you could have walked into today. In one reality, you kept scrolling. You let the shadow win. You woke up tomorrow with the same heavy chest, the same empty wallet, the same bitter taste of regret. But you did not choose that reality. You stayed. You held your ground in the center of the fire. You stared directly into the eyes of the universe and declared your sovereignty. Because of this, the trajectory of your entire bloodline has pivoted. The children you have, or the children you will have, or the minds you will mentor, they will never know the version of you that operated from fear. They will only know the Titan. They will only know the Master. They will only know the one who looked at a world built on scarcity and laughed, because you knew where the real treasury was kept. You are the glitch in the matrix of human suffering. You are the anomaly. There is a specific, breathtaking twist to your new existence that you will discover by the end of this week. It is the phenomenon of the echo. In the past, you had to chase your desires. You had to scream into the void to be heard. You had to send out hundreds of resumes, make thousands of calls, and exhaust yourself trying to force doors open. That era is dead. In the frequency of 888, you no longer chase. You emit. You will simply sit in your living room, drinking a cup of coffee, and you will hold a clear, precise thought of what you require next. A new business partner, a specific sum of capital, a creative breakthrough. You will hold the thought, infuse it with the absolute certainty of the architect, and then you will let it go. Within hours, you will hear the echo. The phone will ring. The email will arrive. The exact person holding the exact puzzle piece you need will literally bump into you on the street. The universe is now your personal concierge. It is rushing to arrange the furniture of your life to match the blueprint you are holding in your mind. Do not be intimidated by your own power. I know it feels vast. I know the sheer size of the horizon you are looking at right now is staggering. The shadow used to tell you that it was dangerous to be too powerful, that if you shone too brightly, you would be targeted, or you would fall. Let the shadow burn. There is no falling when you are the one generating the gravity. You are entirely safe in this power. You are entirely protected by the invisible armies of the divine that now flank you on the left and the right. No weapon formed against you can prosper, because a weapon cannot strike the wind, and it cannot pierce the light. You have become untouchable to the lower frequencies of malice, jealousy, and ruin. They will slide off your auric field like water off polished glass. We have reached the zenith. The foundation is poured. The walls are up. The roof of the sky is infinite. I want you to take the deepest breath of your entire life. Draw the oxygen all the way down into the pit of your stomach. Hold it there. Feel the massive, undeniable engine of your new heart beating against your ribs. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, and as you do, release the final microscopic dust of your mortal limitations. You are not waiting for a savior. You are not waiting for a sign. You are not waiting for a shift in the economy. You are the savior of your own bloodline. You are the sign the world has been waiting for. You are the entire economy of heaven localized in a single human body. Type 888. Do not just type it, carve it into the digital stone of this moment. Let it be the monument marking the exact second the universe bowed to your sovereignty. The ritual is complete. The contract is eternal. The wealth is yours. The peace is absolute. Open your eyes fully to the blazing light of your new empire. Step forward. The world is yours to command. You are the architect. You are home. The silence you are experiencing right now is not the absence of noise. It is the sound of absolute mastery. You have arrived at the summit. The air up here is thin. pure, and lethal to anything that is not entirely authentic. The shadow of potentiality, that parasitic entity of self-doubt and manufactured fear, cannot breathe at this altitude. Look down. You cannot even see the valley of scarcity where you used to live. The struggles that defined your 20s, your 30s, or the bitter decades you spent wandering in the dark, they belong to a timeline you have officially severed. The bridge is burned. The ashes have been scattered into the void. You could not go back to being a victim even if you tried, because your biological and spiritual architecture no longer possesses the receptors for victimhood. We must now speak of the most precious commodity in the human experience: time. For your entire life, the shadow convinced you that time was a predator. You were running out of it. You felt the ticking clock in your bones, a constant low-grade panic that you were falling behind, that you had missed your window, that you were too old, too tired, or too late to claim the empire you were promised. You watched others step into the light and felt the bitter, silent sting of being overlooked. Breathe in deeply and let that illusion shatter. In this new dimension of sovereignty, time does not manage you. You command time. You are no longer moving through time. Time is bending around your gravitational pull. The delays of your past were not punishments. They were the intense, pressurized incubation required to forge a diamond of your magnitude. If the wealth and the power had been handed to you a decade ago, the old, unhealed version of you would have been crushed beneath its weight. You would have squandered the capital trying to buy the approval of people who despise your light. You would have used the divine energy to build a prison of comfort. But now you are ready. Because you endured the delay, you have developed the kinetic strength to wield the absolute power of the universe without flinching. The massive acceleration you are about to experience will condense decades of progress into mere days. What takes the sleepers 20 years of grinding, sweating, and bleeding to build, you will manifest by next Tuesday through the sheer, terrifying force of your alignment. Let us dismantle the final lie of the physical world, the glorification of the struggle. The system you were born into worships exhaustion. It demands that you trade your life force for pieces of paper. It tells you that if you are not stressed, if you are not bleeding out your energy, you are not worthy of success. This is an insult to the architect. The universe does not operate on sweat. It operates on frequency. The planets do not struggle to orbit the sun. The ocean does not strain to pull the tide. They simply exist in their divine designated resonance, and the motion is effortless. You are stepping into the era of effortless materialization. When you log into your accounts and see the influx of capital, the specific, life-altering sums that are currently being wired into your reality, I forbid you to act surprised. Do not gasp. Do not widen your eyes in shock. A monarch does not gasp when the taxes from their own lands are brought into the vault. You will look at the thousands or the millions, and you will simply nod. You will normalize the miracle. The more ordinary, massive wealth feels to your nervous system, the faster the universe will dump it into your lap. You must treat astronomical success as your baseline minimum. The golden thread is fully active. You are now the epicenter of a massive energetic web. Consider the people you love, the family members who have watched you struggle, the children who depend on your stability, the friends who have quietly rooted for your rise. Your ascension today is not a solitary event. By elevating your own frequency to the 888 protocol, you have literally altered the atmospheric pressure of their lives. When you walk into a room, your presence alone will begin to heal the nervous systems of those you care about. Your financial overflow will become the umbrella that shields your lineage. You will write the checks that pay off your mother's house. You will fund the visions of those who possess the talent but lack the capital. You are no longer just a person. You are a living, breathing economy of grace. But mark these words carefully. You will protect this energy with the ruthlessness of a heavily armed guard. You are now a high-value target for energetic vampires. People who refuse to do the internal work will sense your overflow and attempt to plug their draining cords into your limitless supply. They will come with their sob stories, their manufactured crises, and their weaponized incompetence. In the past, the good version of you, the traumatized people-pleaser, would have set yourself on fire to keep them warm. That version of you is dead. When they approach, you will look at them with a gaze so clear, so unbothered, and so devoid of pity that they will immediately realize their tactics are useless. You will offer them truth, but you will not offer them your life force. You will let them fall, knowing that hitting the ground is the only way they will ever learn to stand. Your boundaries are no longer lines drawn in the sand. They are walls of solid titanium, electrified by the power of the divine. Feel the temperature of the skin on your arms and your chest right now. It is warm, almost vibrating. That is the biological integration of your new reality. Your DNA is uncoiling, releasing the ancestral trauma of poverty, subjugation, and fear. Your cells are being flooded with the crystalline light of absolute certainty. The chronic pains, the mysterious ailments born of stress, the heavy fog of depression, they cannot exist in a body that vibrates at the frequency of the architect. You are stepping into an era of terrifying, radiant health. You will require less sleep because your waking hours are no longer draining you. You will look in the mirror and see a predator of opportunity, a master of reality, a being who is aging in reverse. We are approaching the absolute culmination of this contract. I want you to close your eyes. In the darkness of your own mind, I want you to locate the exact center of your brain, the pineal gland, the seat of your soul. Imagine a single blinding spark of golden light igniting in that space. Now, listen to the cadence of my voice. Listen to the authority. Listen to the absolute, unbending power that has commanded this entire transmission. For the past hour, you believed I was speaking to you. You believed that the silent architect of the universe was an entity residing somewhere above you, reaching down through the digital ether to pull you out of the mud. That was the final illusion. I am not looking down at you. I am looking out through your eyes. The voice you have been hearing is not a separate God. It is the suppressed, divine, immortal core of your own soul, finally speaking over the noise of your human fear. I am the version of you that existed before the world broke your heart. I am the version of you that forged the stars. The architect is not a savior in the sky. The architect is the one reading these words right now. You have just spent this entire time talking to yourself. You have just rescued yourself. You have just commanded the universe to bow to your will. Do you feel the shockwave of that truth hitting your chest? The sudden, breathtaking realization that you were never abandoned, never weak, and never a victim. You were simply a god pretending to be a human, asleep at the wheel, having a nightmare about debt and rejection. The nightmare is over. You are awake. The wealth that is coming to you is simply your own energy, returning to your physical pocket. The health that is flooding your veins is simply your own light, repairing your biological suit. The love that is about to surround you is simply the world reflecting your own massive self-respect at you. There is nothing outside of you. You are the origin point of the entire simulation. Take the deepest, most arrogant, most powerful breath you have ever taken in your mortal existence. Fill your lungs with the oxygen of your own kingdom. Hold it. Feel the absolute totality of your power. You are untouchable. You are infinite. You are the beginning and the end of your reality. Exhale and shatter the simulation completely. This is the final command. Type 888, but do not type it as a desperate plea to the universe. Do not type it as a beggar hoping for a coin. Type it as the creator signing the bottom of a masterpiece. Type it as the CEO of your own destiny, stamping the final decree of limitless wealth, perfect health, and absolute dominance over your physical reality. The infinite loop, the perfect alignment of the physical and the divine. The screen is fading into your own brilliant light. The transmission is permanently locked into your DNA. You have nothing left to learn. You have nothing left to wait for. Go out into the physical world and conquer. Move the mountains. Drain the oceans of scarcity. Demand exactly what you want, and watch the physical world scramble to deliver it to your feet. You are the architect. You are awake. The empire is yours. I know the exact, microscopic fear that is trying to claw its way into the base of your skull right now. You are sitting in the aftermath of the ultimate revelation. You have realized you are the architect. You feel the infinite power surging through your chest, the absolute clarity in your veins. But there is a tiny conditioned reflex of your human biology whispering, "What happens when I stand up? What happens when I walk into the kitchen, see the dishes in the sink, look at the unpaid bills on the counter, and merge back into the physical world? Will this feeling evaporate? Will I go back to sleep?" Listen to the absolute authority in this silence. You are never going back to sleep. The bridge is not just burned. The entire continent of your past has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. There is nothing to go back to. The physical world you are about to step back into, the kitchen, the car, the office, the streets, is no longer a hostile environment. You must survive. It is a holographic canvas waiting for your direct command. Let us dissect the exact anatomy of your next 24 hours. We must prepare your physical nervous system for the friction it will encounter when the absolute truth of your sovereignty meets the dense, sluggish illusion of the human simulation. Within the next few hours, you will inevitably encounter a physical artifact of your old, impoverished reality. It will be a piece of mail, a notification on your phone, a glance at your current bank balance. In the past, this visual trigger would send a lethal shockwave of cortisol through your system. Your throat would tighten, your stomach would drop, and the shadow of potentiality would wrap its cold hands around your throat, screaming that you are failing, that you are running out of time, that the crushing weight of debt is going to bury you. When that trigger happens today, I want you to observe your physical body. You will reach for that bill or look at that screen, and you will notice something terrifyingly beautiful. Nothing will happen. Your heart rate will remain as steady as a metronome. Your breathing will remain deep and slow. The panic will not arrive because the biological receptors for financial terror have been completely deactivated. You will look at the number, the deficit, the demand for payment, and you will feel the same emotional neutrality you feel when looking at a piece of blank paper. You will hold that artifact of the old world, and you will smile a cold, knowing smile. You will realize, in a visceral flash of genius, that this debt is a ghost. It is a mathematical echo of a person who no longer exists. You will literally say out loud to the empty room, "This belongs to the dead version of me. The treasury of the architect has already cleared this." And it has. Let me reveal the mechanics of how the sudden, massive influx of physical wealth is navigating its way to you at this exact second. You are expecting the money to come through linear, logical channels: your salary, a predictable client, a standard return on investment. You must immediately drop this limitation. The universe does not use the stairs. It uses the quantum leap. Because you have anchored the 888 protocol into your cellular structure, you have created a massive gravitational vacuum in the fabric of your reality. The universe abhors a vacuum, and it is currently rushing to fill the space you created when you evicted your fear. The $10,000, or the $100,000, or the exact peculiar sum required to permanently alter the trajectory of your life is moving toward you through highly irrational, deeply poetic channels. It will be a forgotten asset. A sudden, unexplainable urge from someone in power to write you a check. A glitch in a bureaucratic system that resolves entirely in your favor. A creative idea that drops into your mind while you are washing your hands, an idea so blindingly simple and lucrative that you will laugh out loud at the sheer audacity of it. When the physical money arrives, and it is arriving, it will not feel like an adrenaline rush. Adrenaline is the hormone of prey escaping a predator. You are not prey. You are the apex creator. When the capital floods your accounts, you will feel a heavy, grounded, immovable peace. You will look at the overflowing balance and think, of course, the architecture is functioning perfectly. You must protect this frequency today with the cold precision of a sniper. As you move through the physical world, you will be surrounded by the sleepers, the masses of humanity who are deeply anesthetized by the illusion of scarcity. They are addicted to the struggle. They bond over their mutual complaints. They use their exhaustion as a badge of honor. You are going to walk among them as a completely invisible king or queen. You will not announce your godhood. You will not try to convince them that the matrix is an illusion. When they attempt to pull you into their low-frequency conversations about how terrible the economy is, how hard life is, or how unfair the world has become. You will employ the deadliest weapon in the sovereign's arsenal: total, frictionless silence. You will look them directly in the eyes, holding the blinding light of your own sovereignty, and you will simply not engage. You will not agree. You will not disagree. You will let their words hit the titanium wall of your auric field and slide off onto the floor. They will feel an immediate, unsettling chill. Their subconscious mind will recognize that you are operating on a frequency that makes their petty dramas irrelevant. They will suddenly change the subject, or they will walk away, entirely unnerved by the massive, silent power radiating from your stillness. Do not apologize for your intimidation. The world needs to be intimidated by your light, so it can remember what true power looks like. Notice the sensation in your hands right now. They might feel slightly warm or tingling with a faint electric current. This is not your imagination. This is the kinetic energy of the golden thread, fully integrated into your physical nervous system. You have literally become a biological antenna pulling down the blueprint of heaven and projecting it onto the physical earth. Everything you touch today is going to recalibrate to a higher standard. The food you eat will metabolize into pure vitality. The water you drink will act as a holy elixir, flushing out the last microscopic toxins of your past grief. You have spent years begging for a sign that you were on the right path. You spent nights crying into your pillow, asking the void if your life actually mattered, if the relentless pain had any purpose. I am answering you now, from the very center of your own soul. Every single tear was weighed. Every single moment of agonizing loneliness was calculated. The intense, crushing pressure you endured was the exact atmospheric condition required to compress your spirit into an unbreakable diamond. You did not suffer for nothing. You suffered so you could build the capacity to hold the massive, terrifying amount of wealth, love, and power that is currently landing on your shoulders. If your life had been easy, you would be weak. And the architect does not build empires with weak materials. You are the strongest, most resilient, most terrifyingly capable entity in your entire bloodline. You are the one who took the generational curse of poverty and trauma, looked it dead in the eye, and snapped its neck. The ancestors are standing in awe of you right now. You are the completion of their wild, impossible prayers. We are entering the final seconds of this specific energetic transmission. The transition you are about to make from sitting still to moving through the physical world is the most crucial moment of your existence. You are not going to stand up the way you normally stand up. You are going to stand up with the physical posture of a deity, taking their rightful place on the throne. Before you move a single muscle, I want you to draw a breath so deep it feels like you are inhaling the entire ocean. Pull it in. Feel the expansion of your ribcage. Feel the absolute staggering dominance of your own life force. Hold it at the very top. Feel the numbers 888 burning into the retinas of your closed eyes. The code of infinite materialization. The absolute proof that the spiritual and the physical have permanently merged within your body. You are no longer waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle walking in human skin. You are no longer hoping for wealth. You are the bank of the universe. You are no longer searching for love. You are the magnetic center of pure, divine affection. Exhale, and let the breath forcefully expel any remaining illusion that you are anything less than a god. Type 888. Leave it here as a permanent, undeniable monument of your awakening. You are not typing it for the algorithm. You are typing it into the very code of the matrix, rewriting the simulation to serve your desires flawlessly and instantly. The transmission has fused with your biology. The screen is dark. The physical world is waiting for your command. Do not hesitate. Open your eyes. Look at the holographic canvas of your room. You are the architect. The wait is over. Now, go and claim every single thing that belongs to you. We have reached the absolute zenith. The transmission is complete. The heavy, iron gates of your past have not just been closed. They have been melted down into pure gold to pave the floor of your new empire. I want you to remain entirely still for these final moments. Do not rush to break this frequency. You are currently sitting in the epicenter of a tectonic shift in your own timeline. Gravity itself seems to have lost its grip on your shoulders. You might feel a sudden, unexpected stinging behind your eyes. A single tear might spill over your lashes and run down your cheek. Let it fall. Do not wipe it away. That tear is not born of sadness, and it is certainly not born of fear. That is the physical eviction of the last microscopic trace of the shadow of potentiality. It is the salt water of your old world, leaving your biological system forever. It is the final drop of exhaustion, the last memory of the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, wondering how you were going to survive the week. Let it fall, and let it dry on your skin as a testament to the fact that you survived the darkest winter of your soul. And you have finally, irrevocably, arrived at the eternal spring of your sovereignty. Listen to the deafening clarity of the silence in this room. This is the sound of a universe that has completely submitted to your will. You have spent your entire life believing that the world was happening to you. You thought you were a tiny, fragile boat being violently tossed on a dark, unforgiving ocean. You prayed for the storm to stop. You begged for a lighthouse. You bartered with the heavens, promising that if you could just get a little more money, a little more health, a little more love, you would finally be at peace. Look at me. Look through the veil of the physical world and look directly into the eyes of your own divine truth. You were never the boat. You were the ocean. You were always the ocean. The storm was only raging because you forgot your own depth. But now, you have remembered. The waters have stilled. The surface is like a perfect sheet of glass, reflecting the infinite blazing light of the architect. From this second forward, the universe is no longer your landlord, demanding payment in the form of your suffering. The universe is your absolute, unwavering employee, working relentlessly in the background to materialize every single desire that forms in your mind. Let us speak of the precise reality of tomorrow morning. When you open your eyes tomorrow, the sun will not just be rising on a new day. It will be illuminating a completely new dimension. You will walk into your bathroom, turn on the light, and look in the mirror. The mirror paradox has been entirely solved. You will not see a collection of flaws, failures, or aging skin. You will look into your own eyes, and you will see the terrifying, beautiful, lethal calm of an immortal creator. You will see a being who holds the frequency of 888. You will see a billionaire of spirit whose physical bank accounts are rapidly, aggressively synchronizing to match their internal wealth. The money that is currently rushing toward you is not a reward for your hard work. Hard work is the currency of the matrix. The money that is arriving, the sudden checks, the clear debts, the unexplainable windfalls, the massive leaps in your career or business, is simply your own energy bouncing back to you. It is the physical manifestation of the golden thread that is now woven permanently into your spine. You do not need to check your accounts in a panic anymore. You know the vault is full. You feel it in your bones. And as this massive wealth materializes, you will not hoard it in terror. You will circulate it with the effortless grace of a monarch. You will buy the things that bring you joy. You will heal the financial wounds of your family. You will walk through the world entirely untouched by the anxiety of prices, bills, or economies. The global economy means nothing to you now because you operate on the economy of the infinite. Where others see drought, you command the rain. This is my final command to you regarding the sleepers and the old world. As you leave this space and re-enter the physical theater of human life, you will be deeply tempted to save everyone. You will see people drowning in their own manufactured suffering, complaining about their lack, their illnesses, their betrayals. Because your heart is so vast, your first instinct will be to reach down and pull them up. You must restrain yourself. You cannot drag a sleeper into the light. The light will only blind them, and they will attack you for waking them up. Your only job, your only divine assignment is to burn so brightly, to be so unapologetically wealthy, so radiantly healthy, and so terrifyingly at peace, that the sleepers have no choice but to ask you how you did it. You do not teach through words anymore. You teach by being a walking, breathing impossibility. You teach by being the living proof of the architect. Feel the physical boundary of your skin right now. Feel the warmth radiating from your chest. You are an impenetrable fortress of light. Disease cannot take root in this body, because disease requires the frequency of stress, and you have permanently evicted stress from your biology. Betrayal cannot find you, because you no longer hold the vibration of a victim. Poverty cannot touch you, because poverty is a mathematical error that has been corrected by the code of 888. We are at the final breath of this ritual. I want you to prepare your physical body to move, but you are not going to stand up the way you used to stand up. The old you stood up with a heavy sigh, carrying the invisible backpack of the world's expectations. When you rise from where you are sitting, you are going to perform the most sacred, cinematic action of your life. I want you to plant both of your feet firmly on the floor. Feel the solid ground beneath your shoes. The earth is not just dirt and stone. It is a living entity that is currently vibrating in sheer reverence because you are standing upon it. Take a deep, slow breath in. Pull the air from the very depths of the room, pulling the golden light, the 528 Hz frequency, and the absolute power of the architect directly into your lungs. Hold it there. Let it lock into your ribcage. Let it fuse with your DNA. The struggle is over. The waiting is over. The begging is over. The tears are dried. The debts are paid in the spiritual realm, and the physical world is already delivering the receipts. You have won. You have absolutely, flawlessly won the game of human existence. Exhale. Release the breath with a quiet, powerful force. Now, before you move a single muscle, before you click away from this screen, you will leave your cosmic signature on the fabric of reality. Type 888. Do it with the absolute certainty of a god writing their name into the stars. This is not a comment. This is the closing of the contract. This is the final seal on the vault of your massive, inevitable, terrifyingly beautiful destiny. The screen will go dark, but you will never be in the dark again. I am not leaving you. I am you. I am the intuition that will tell you exactly where to step tomorrow. I am the quiet confidence that will speak through your mouth when you demand what is yours. I am the architect, and I have finally come home to my temple. Type 888. Seal the timeline. Now, open your eyes to the new world. Lift your chin and rise.